and you look back on the season and you had so many good memories and everything. So what's the bar for next season now? Are we already thinking there? Or are we thinking what's next? We got to follow up the title. What are your guys' goals for
I mean,
next year?
I think probably go back to back. I think
Why not?
Yeah.
Might as well just go back to
Yeah.
back, right? Do you guys do like the track season
Mhm.
too that comes up and everything? So we're focusing on that first.
Yeah.
Obviously. I'm getting ahead here. I'm looking towards next year, but you guys are ready for track season. When does that start?
We do indoor, so that starts end of January, I think, and it goes to like beginning of March. So that's like to get us like prepped and like in the track mindset. And then we go to outdoor, which is like start of April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys prefer that, or do you like doing the cross country better?
I like track races just because
Yeah.
I feel like they're more laid back. Maybe because we care more about cross country. So
Yeah.
like track's just kind of like a to stay in shape for cross country.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more laid back. So I like that
Okay.
aspect of it.
So you've got until January off. What are you guys gonna take some time? Are we in off season now? Or are you still running every day?
I am currently running because I'm doing another race
my.
for reasons that are not relevant.
Okay. We don't have to get into it.
Yeah, but our coach requires us to take some time off to make sure
Yeah.
our legs are nice and rested,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we actually get some time to focus on school,
Okay.
such as. So.
Okay, but aside from you when you're racing, you guys are taking time off.
Yeah.
You listening to the coach and taking
Yeah.
time off? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we got 2/3, so that's okay. So looking back on the season, now that you've finished the season, wrapped it up, came away with the title, what was your favorite memory from the season? I don't know who wants to kick us off.
really
Who wants to go again?
Yeah, I'll start. I'd honestly say after states, after the race, it was just like such a great moment. I remember I went over and I was just looking up at the board because they have this big screen at the end of the race, and I was just waiting, and the teams were scrolling the team scores, and it was at the bottom. So I stood there for a second, and then it went to the top again, and I saw Romeo at the top. I didn't even look at the points. All I saw was our name, and it was such a great moment. I remember I went over to the team and I was like, guys, like we did it. We just won. And like
That's how you found out?
yeah.
You on the board, yeah.
And we all were just like crying and hugging each other. It was a really great moment.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you found out from the board first.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was like the same moment for me. I remember I finished and I was like talking to Violet and Emmy like at the finish line, like after we crossed the line.
Yeah.
And I remember Lillian came over and she was like, "We won states." And I remember just like dropping to my knees, just like sobbing. It's just like so proud of ourselves because that's something like a goal we've had for like a really long time, and it was just like just came true. And then after when we went to Blake's and we all celebrated.
Oh, nice. That was the celebration afterwards. Was Blake's. Nice. Okay.
Okay. Is it okay if I have two?
Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, so again, earlier I talked about Jackson, and like, to be honest, right after we had like won that race, and we had won it by a substantial amount. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like 60 points?
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Killed it.
So it was like, and I feel like that was just like a turning point for me in my head, being like, oh my God, like this is one of the best teams in the state. Like we just beat like some of like the rival teams, and we always like, oh my God, like this team is going to be so good. And like sadly we're only losing one senior this year, Gracie Youngblood, but the team is still continuing because we have
that's
freshmen, juniors all in there. So our team is still like going on now, so we can still be able to keep winning.
Yeah.
And then another memory was from states. And I had just finished my race. I was on the floor. I was dying. Okay.
Gassed.
When Lillian finished, like a few seconds later,
Okay.
and I'm like laying on the floor, and this lady comes up to me and she's like, "Man, people just puke there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was just laying on the floor. So then I get up and I'm like choking on my spit. And Lillian's like holding my hair back. She's like, "You gotta be okay, Emmy." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "I'm here." I stood up and I was like, okay, I got like 5 seconds. And Lillian like came over screaming like, "Oh my God, we just won." I just started crying again. I was like choking. It was a whole experience.
It's a whole mess.
I had like a roller coaster going on. It was great.
A lot of highs and lows. So that's great. I mean, you walked away with a good story. All of them from I love how like dramatic it almost was. Like you see the board and then you come back and tell everybody and everybody just starts crying, losing it. I love it though. It shows how much you guys wanted it, and like you knew you could get there and you got there. And that's insane that you're only graduating one senior.
Yeah.
That's insane. So
She'll be very missed.
yeah, but that's just crazy. I mean, you rarely see it where you're just losing one senior, that you're all coming back next year. I mean, the team's gonna be insane next year.